So this episode, I'm gonna call this cheap cost money. So basically, a lot of people they think that, oh, I shouldn't spend 10,000 on a digital marketing service team. I shouldn't spend 20,000 on a digital marketing team. And it's like, are you gonna spend 1,000? Right? Just think about this. If you spend 10,000 or 20,000 on one team, right? We're talking about a team. If you spend $1,000 or $2,000 and you trying to make 50,000, what team? Who do you think you're paying? If it's a team, who do you think you're paying? What good team of people is going to take $2,000 to make you $100,000? Just think about that. Like, nobody is, even if they do that, they should have you on a retainer, right? And then they're probably going to upsell you anyway. So cheap costs money. Cheap costs money. Like because people who are expensive, they're giving you certainty. Like, certainty is what you want. Like, you're not going to get certainty for cheap. Cheap is not certainty. Cheap is risk, right? That's why a lot of people, they don't get rich from zero. The reason most people don't get rich from zero is because they stayed cheap throughout the time that they were saving their money. So they'll save their money up, right? So let's just say somebody works for like a year or two and they save like 50 grand. Now they're afraid to invest 30 grand, right? Because they're thinking, oh, I worked 2 years. Oh, now I should invest 3,000 because I worked these 2 years. Like, no, that person who you're paying doesn't care how long you work. They care about the people that they have to pay, and they care about actually making you more money, right? But how can they make you more money if you're focused on what you did to get the money? You're not focusing on what's going to make you the most money. Like, a lot of people, they're scared to invest because they look at what they did to make the money, right? It don't matter what you did to make the money. That doesn't matter. The person who you're paying, they don't care. The grocery store that you go to buy your food, they don't care where you work to pay them. They just want to know, can you pay at the register? They don't care that you worked this long for that. Nobody cares what you did to make the money. Well, yeah, like courts and the law system cares. But I'm saying, when you're in the realm of business, you can't be like, oh, that's too much money for this when you don't really know the outcome. Like, yeah, you look at all these big hustler guys. That's why, like, when I look on, I'm going to make another video about this, about like scam courses, right? Or a lot of people buy these little courses. That goes with the topic of this video. A lot of people, they think that, oh, I'm just going to buy this course and it's like, I'm going to learn. No, the course is not what you need. You need the team and the mentor behind the course. You don't just need the course. The course is not going to get you there, right? You need the mindset of the person who sold you the course. That's what you need. You don't, like, people buy a course and they think that's why I don't do courses, because I know that by the time I do a course, like, I could do a Shopify course right now. But why don't I do it? Because I know it's going to be outdated in like 3 months, right? I know it's going to be a new app that I didn't do, that I used in my store a month ago. Now there's a new one that everybody's using. And then, like, I know adaptation, right? But if you don't understand adaptation, then you don't know why you're being sold, right? Like, I'm looking at the Andrew Tate thing. Like, I almost bought an Andrew Tate course like 5 years ago. But I took the course, but when I took it, I was like, I'm already doing what you're asking me. That's what I've learned about courses. Like, most of the time when I take a course, it's just confirmation of things that I already know because I've already studied that. So you have to think about the fact that most of the people you're learning, they're still humans. You think that people you're learning from is this big, gigantic person because of the marketing and the YouTube, but it's still just a package of things that they just put together in a zip file, right? And the people that get out of control, it's like, no, your biggest, what makes you money is what you've already done. They're selling you what they've done, right? You have to do something so you can sell that. And it has a high value based on what you've learned, right? You can't take a course from Ty Lopez. You can't take a course from Dan Loke and think, oh, I know this now. No, you have to do that. And now you have your own way of thinking. So even if you buy that course, you're still learning what millions of other people got. Now that person, they're going to do something completely different, right? They're concealing their intentions. So you're playing a game of ladder, right? You're playing the red ocean, like I talk about. You're in an ocean of red where everybody's going red, 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 and you're not even in the blue, right? But they're going blue because they just sold you the red. Now they're making their own red ocean, and now they're going to do something else. Right? So that's the issue with being cheap, right? You're better off just doing things. You're better off paying. If something doesn't cost you money to learn it, and I'm not just talking about the course, I'm talking about the tools that you need. If the tools that you need don't cost money and you have to learn that tool, then you're not building leverage. Because the leverage comes from what you're learning that other people are not learning. Now you can teach those people, and that has to be high value. Because if it's not high value, now you got a lot of broke people who can learn the same thing. You see what I'm saying? You can't do that. Your value is you. Why you think Ty Lopez or Andrew Tate or Dan Loke, they put their name on things because, or even a Snoop Dogg or the Baby or even rappers, right? Rappers are very good at this. Or Kim Kardashian, right? They put their name on it. Why? Because you can't be them. You can't be them. So even if you try to drop a skincare line or whatever you're going to release, you can't do it like them because they're them. That's why it says buy Kim Kardashian. That's why it says buy Kylie Jenner or buy this or buy Snoop Dogg or buy Bob Marley, because you can't be them, right? You can't buy a course from Bob Marley on how to do this because he's just going to put Bob Marley on it. You bought it because it's him, not because of what you're learning from it. You can't learn to be Bob Marley from Bob Marley, right? You can only learn the marketing tactics that he used to sell you, right? But if you knew those tactics, then you wouldn't even buy you would just see through what he's doing. That's the issue of being cheap. Like even books are not even expensive no more. You can just read a book online. Like books give you perspective, right? If you don't have the perspective of what you're seeing, then you don't know what you're looking at. Like you can't read people if you don't know psychology, right? You don't know what people are doing if you can't just listen and just be like, okay, that's what they're doing, right? You don't have perspective, right? And perspective is levels to perspective, right? The more you read, the more that you learn, right? The more that you can see what people are doing and you can see like how things are being leveraged, right? Adaptation. But books can be toxic too. Like books can be toxic. I agree. Books can definitely be toxic. Like you can read too much, but you can't necessarily read too much because books give you perspective when you don't have it. Like a book can answer a question that no human is not, well, a book is human reading, but some things you think you know, but you're not knowing it. And it was in a book somewhere. You was like, oh, that's what it was. It's like, dang, if I knew that at that time, but it was already there, right? You just didn't search for it. That's cheap too, because time is money, right? So the time that you're willing to invest in finding out an issue that you have, then that's money made,